Spooky season, friends. It's time for episode 608 of Good Luck High Five.
That's right. You're listening to a podcast that's for you if you play Magic the Gathering. Whether you believe the time for horror is upon us or you believe that we should wait until October 1st, we are here for you.
What are you talking about? Spooky season starts September 1st and I won't hear otherwise.
Wow. What about the people that say that it starts after the 4th of July?
I'm also in favor of that.
All right.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And you've landed upon it, friends. This is our Judge Rob episode.
Duskmourn is happening this very weekend.
Yes.
Is the pre-release, and we want to send you out there to fight your way through the terrors of Duskmourn, armed with all of the knowledge that Judge Rob and we can provide.
Absolutely. You're not going to head into this haunted house without your bat with a bunch of rusty nails in it.
And by that, we mean knowledge of tricky cards that come up in the set.
Judge Rob's going to break down all of the new mechanics and tricky card interactions you might run into in the dark hallways of Duskmourn, the House of Horror. Duskmourn.
You
both
cannot
last week and this week.
Not say, like, what is up?
Duskmourn, the House of Horror that you might run into at your local game store this weekend.
But before we get started, we have some people to thank. And first and foremost amongst them are you, the listeners, and especially the patrons of this podcast.
Join us, patrons. Join us. Patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Thank you so much to everyone who is a patron. We have no new patrons to announce this week, only because we are recording this episode ahead of time. So we will get back to making great puns, impeccable puns of your names next week. Consider please becoming a new patron so we have some puns to make. It's one of our favorite things to do each episode.
Absolutely. You get access to early episode releases, ad-free episodes, both of this and Commander Arcade. You get access to our Discord server, a whole bunch of other great perks. Check them out, patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
Thank you as well to our sponsor, Card Kingdom, cardkingdom.com/GLHF, the place to go for all of your booster boxes, all of your draft needs, all of your chaff selling needs.
Absolutely.
All of your singles, you know, go to Card Kingdom.
You can pre-order Duskmourn, House of Horrors. I said it wrong on purpose that time.
Yeah, so that it couldn't get you by accident.
Over on cardkingdom.com/GLHF, you can check out great sleeves. They carry Dragon Shield, which is another one of our
sponsors.
Awesome sponsors.
So get everything you need. You can make one big ol' order. You can get a booster box that you can draft with your friends. You can get some sleeves to protect those cards in.
Everything that you need can be done over at cardkingdom.com/GLHF. If you want to buy a huge mess of sleeves, head over to Dragon Shield. The link for them is in the show notes or underneath this video. Use code GLHF at checkout for 5% off your order.
You can use Dragon Shield sleeves even if you don't play Magic the Gathering.
That's right.
Play any other card games? Put these sleeves on your cards.
Keep
it is
your cards
important
safe.
to sleeve cards in many contexts.
Absolutely. And why not sleeve them with the best? Dragon Shield is the best in the game, and we're so very happy to have them as a sponsor. We want you to be able to have your cards protected for their lifetime. So go check them out over at Dragon Shield. Please use the code GLHF to save yourself some bucks on the way out the door as well.
Oh, yeah.
Exciting announcement now, everyone. If you're a fan of Duskmourn House of... I said it again.
Maria?
Unbelievable.
This is uncanny.
I don't know what's happening to my
You're
brain.
possessed.
Maybe there is a Duskmourn somewhere.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what it means, but
Spooky.
maybe it exists. We're playing the new Commander decks over on our channel, youtube.com/@GLHF Commander.
And we play Archenemy.
Ooh, what is Archenemy, Megan?
One player versus the other three players. So the other three players are all taking their untap, upkeep, draw. Their turns are all happening at the same time. They share a life total, and they are competing against one Archenemy who has an Archenemy deck that they turn over one card, a scheme, each turn, and those schemes can help the Archenemy since they're battling the other three players.
They're super powerful, everyone.
Yes.
So come and check out our battle. Megan plays our Archenemy.
Of course I do.
And we're trying to take her down. Find out and see if we can do it at youtube.com/@GLHF Commander. Thank you to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring that video. It's a very cool episode of our show.
Yes.
And we're so very proud of it. So go check it out, won't you? All right, everyone, we have Judge Rob joining us here in the studio. How you doing, Rob?
Pretty good. I got my beard trimmed down a little bit. I worked at RCQ at Lodestone recently. It was really great.
New
It's been a good
beard,
time.
new life, new
Yep.
lease on life.
Yep.
Well, Rob, before we
Wow.
dive into the cards and the new mechanics and all that kind of jazz, you'd like to start us off with a PSA. So what is it this time?
My PSA is that everybody has consumed some kind of media that they loved. Everybody watched a show they loved when they were a kid, or read a book as a kid, or even as an adult years ago, and you loved it, and you can go back to it. You can join your old media, you can rewatch it, you can reread it, and sometimes it sucks.
Sometimes, as we say, it doesn't hold up.
Right, it doesn't hold up, or just like you've changed, or like I had a lot more patience for bad writing when I was a kid, as it turns out. I've gone back and tried to
think we
reread
all
some
did.
books. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, Kevin J. Anderson, huh? I
Don't
read
get
a
that
lot of your
reference.
books? Why did I read so many of your? You're not very good. So like sometimes it's good to just like take a look at it, be like, I can't finish this. I don't have to force myself to eat these vegetables because they're not vegetables. It's just a show or a book or whatever.
Turned out it was
Yeah.
creamed corn the
Yeah,
whole
it was
time.
cream corn the whole time. Keep,
wasn't normal corn.
keep your nostalgia. Be happy that you enjoyed it at the past, and don't worry so much about it sucking now to you, because like you can. That doesn't retroactively make it bad. That
And it doesn't make past you bad for liking
Right,
it.
Yes,
exactly.
indeed.
Right. Like when I'm so like, why did I read so many of your books? Honestly, like there's all sorts of plot points and like terrible Star Wars novelizations that I loved when I was a kid, and I can't
Yeah.
reread nowadays. And now I'm just like, man, I'm going to think fondly on that and never get back to it. And that's great.
Well, you know, this set is all about nostalgia and
This is
horror
nostalgia. That's
that
what
you might
prompted this.
encounter
Yes.
with this set. So great PSA, Rob.
Yep.
We're going to start things off with returning mechanics this time around.
Yeah. So I'm going to just run through a few like oddball things that we have showing up. So the ley lines are back.
Yes.
Just like in the past, Leyline of the Void is the perfect magic card and has returned. And they've designed 4 new cards to go alongside of it. The ley lines are all color 2. So like Leyline of Hope here is white 2 for an enchantment. And it says, if Leyline of Hope is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. And then it has abilities as well. If you would gain life, you gain that much life +1 instead. And as long as you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, creatures you control get +2/+2. And so the ley lines are a pregame action. They happen after both players are done mulliganing, but before any player does anything in the game. And this can come up in limited with enough regularity now that there are just rares that you might just stop and ask for pregame actions if you're playing in person. Or just, if you have a ley line, be like, no pregame actions all the time. Or if you don't have a ley line, do it. Fake them out. And
Great.
They're all okay. There's the one that makes your spells cost Wooburg instead of their normal cost. You might not play that one. But like, Leyline of Hope,
I think that's a
seems okay.
sweet card.
counters. Counters cancel +1/+1 counters and -1/-1 counters cancel each other out. And normally this doesn't come up in normal limited environments because you normally don't have both in the same set at the same time. There's a card that puts -1/-1 counters on itself in this set. So Patched Plaything is white and 2 for a 4/3. It's an artifact creature toy. It has double strike, and Patched Plaything enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it if you cast it from your hand.
2
or 2
minus
-1/-1 counters if you cast it from your hand. Sorry. I don't know why they decided to make this random white uncommon, put -1/-1 counters on itself. If you have both +1/+1 counters and -1/-1 counters in the same thing at the same time, they are removed as a state-based action. So the counters cancel you don't have to track each separately and then figure out which is which. Nope, they clear out until you're left with only one type of those counters.
Because it's ripped, that's why, Rob. Because the teddy bear is ripped, and
Yeah.
that's the -1/-1 counters.
No, I think that it's cool, but why doesn't it just like enter with +1/+1 counters?
If it came from somewhere else.
If you cast like,
Oh, I see.
yeah, if you didn't cast it when it enters with +1/+1 counters, if it wasn't cast from your hand.
This card enters ripped in half unless you cast it from your hand. That would be kind of cool, but it should probably be a common.
Mechanic and a common. Yep.
Delirium.
Delirium is back. I love this mechanic. So hand that feeds here.
Yeah, I don't like this art.
Oh no, this art is terrible.
It's disgusting.
it
This
is-
hand has a mouth in the middle of it for everybody listening.
Yeah, you can scroll on. It's fine.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just gonna not look at it.
Hand that feeds is red and 1 for a 2/2 creature mutant. It has Delirium. Whenever hand that feeds attacks while there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, it gets +2/+2 and gains menace until end of turn. So Delirium is count the number of card types that are in your graveyard. Remember your pickle labs. And if you have at least 4, then you get whatever Delirium bonus. And Delirium is an ability word, not a keyword. So it could be on spells, it could be on abilities, it could be anywhere. You'll have to read the thing, but they're all tied together and that they care about 4 card types being in your graveyard. Hand That Feeds is a little weird. I called it out because it is not an intervening if trigger, which is very strange. Normally triggers like this check when they go in the stack on resolution. Hand That Feeds doesn't. It only checks at the time that it goes in the stack. Whenever it attacks, if this condition being true, trigger is going to go in the stack. It doesn't matter if they remove cards after that. It'll still resolve. It's a different template than I'm used to on those. So
now to the exciting
new
things,
stuff.
the new mechanics, Rob.
Yeah, we're going to manifest some dread about these mechanics. So Manifest Dread's the first one I want to talk about.
I feel dread about this art.
Oh, I love it.
This whole set is like against your entire vibe. So Killer's Mask here. It's black and 2 for an artifact equipment. When Killer's Mask enters, manifest Dread, then attach Killer's Mask to that creature.
Sick.
Yeah. And so then the reminder text says, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature and the other into your graveyard. Turn that creature face up at any time for its mana cost if it's a creature card on the other side. And Killer's Mask also says equipped creature has menace and equip 2. So manifesting Dread, anytime that a player is instructed to manifest Dread, they look at 2 cards. They send one to the battlefield face down. They don't reveal what it is to their opponent, and they put the other one into their graveyard. If they only have 1 card left in their library, they put the card onto the battlefield. They get to look at it. They know what it is. You get to look at face down things that you control. There's a handful of things in this set that let you look at other players' face down stuff. Like there's the found footage that lets you look at other players' face down things. And you might make your opponent manifest Dread, or you might manifest Dread for any different circumstance. These are manifest, the same as from Fate Reforged, if people remember that. And so if they're creatures, you can pay their mana cost and turn them face up. This is a special action. Doesn't use the stack. They can't counter it with a Stifle type ability. They just pay the mana and turn it face up, or you do pay the mana to turn it face up if it's a creature at any time that you have priority when you can normally cast
So you
spells.
can do it on their turn.
Yep, you can do it on their turn.
You can
do
block
it in
and then
response
turn
to their
it face
spells.
up.
Yeah, you can do it after you attack. If it's not a creature, you can't turn it face up via the manifest effect. But you could turn it face up via other things. Like there's a green card in the set that's green and 1. Look at it face down, and then you can turn it face up.
What if it was, for instance, Lightning Bolt, then I use that green thing to turn it face up? Then what happens?
That specifically says reveal it, and then if it's a permanent, turn it face up, and if it's not, leave it face down.
So I couldn't.
Anything that is a non-permanent that gets put face down on the battlefield is never going to be able to be turned face up.
It just can't.
Yeah, it just can't. Anything that instructs you to turn face up,
It
tries, it's like,
shows it off and says, "Look, I'm a Lightning Bolt," and then it turns face back down again. It's like I'm still just a 2/2. The 2/2 manifests have no abilities and no types. There is no native way on cards to turn themselves face up on their other side in this set. So there's no morph, there's no megamorph, there's no disguise, none of that. You're manifesting Dread. It's like 2/3 making a token. There's a couple ways to turn things face up. Sometimes they'll be creatures, and so you'll be really happy. But because you get to look at 2 and pick 1, you'll be a little more likely to get a creature.
Yes. I learned that it used to be 3 in playtesting, and they changed it to 2.
That seems incredible.
Yeah.
Would the other 2 both go in your graveyard?
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Spicy.
really good. That makes all of the 3 mana manifest Dread and do something incidental cards really good. But we don't live in that world, apparently.
No, we don't. Next up, we have a very cool new mechanic here in Rooms.
This is the weirdest new mechanic. There's nothing in common with anything that's ever happened in the past.
So that means that it's my favorite.
So Rooms are enchantments. They are split permanents. If you remember split cards like Assault and Battery, or Fire and Ice is the most common one played. The Rooms are split, so they'll be sideways. So the one that we have here is Secret Arcade or Dusty Parlor.
Choose one now.
Yeah, choose one right now.
I want the arcade.
Yeah, so if you want the arcade, it costs white and 4 to cast. And on the stack, it'll be Secret Arcade, costs white and 4. It'll enter the battlefield, it'll be an enchantment room, and it'll have non-land permanents you control and permanent spells you control are enchantments in addition to their other types. And so you choose when you cast it, which side you cast. If you cast the other half, Dusty Parlor, on the battlefield, or on the stack, it'll be white and 2, and on the battlefield and stack. It'll still be an enchantment. When you cast an enchantment spell, put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to that spell's mana value on up to 1 target creature.
Jeez.
It's very good.
Nice.
And so you get to pick which side you cast, and they're going to enter with that side unlocked. The other side will be locked. At any time in your turn, when you could normally cast a sorcery, you can pay the other half's cost. So if you cast Dusty Parlor and you let it resolve, then you can later on this turn or on a subsequent turn on your main phase in an empty stack, pay white and 4 to unlock the Secret Arcade. And then you'll have both sides. On the battlefield, it will have both names and it will have both sets of abilities, but it'll still be an enchantment. The mana value will be the combined mana values of the two. So it'll be white 6 basically on the battlefield. So it'll be a 7 cost. It'll be an 8 cost. Thanks, brain. Can't do math today, apparently. It'll be an 8 cost permanent on the battlefield. If you copy this for some reason while it's on the battlefield, you get whatever is currently unlocked, and you can unlock the other side in your copy.
You can't?
You can.
You can?
You can unlock the other side. Also, if this enters the battlefield without being cast, neither side is unlocked, and you'll have to unlock each side individually.
Sure.
So if you have something that puts a permanent card from your hand directly onto the battlefield, you'll get this
double locked room.
Yeah, this double locked room that you have to pay to unlock each side. The rooms themselves are all range from irrelevant to super cool.
Just like people.
Yeah, just like people.
Tag yourself.
And the other thing about them is that unlock ability isn't an activated ability, isn't a triggered ability. It's a special action, just like turning your card face up. So they can't respond to it. You just pay the mana and you get the other side. They should try to stop you before you go to unlock it. They should kill it on their turn instead of yours, basically. So they're not going to be able to stifle paying the mana for a room unlock. Rooms are wild. Split permanents are very, very cool.
I love them.
Survival is a new ability word. So there's a bunch of creatures that are type survivor, like acrobatic cheerleader here. It's white and 1 for a 2/2 creature human survivor. It has survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if acrobatic cheerleader is tapped, put a flying counter on it. This ability triggers only once. So this is a very basic survival card. Survival means at the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped, you do a thing. It's a triggered ability. It doesn't matter how it became tapped. If you tapped it to pay a cost, if you attacked with it, if it entered the battlefield tapped.
If somebody paid Icy Manipulator to tap it down.
If somebody Icy Manipulated it to keep you from attacking with it, the survival will kick in. And so then survival just does a thing. It's a triggered ability, and they do a wide range of stuff. Like acrobatic cheerleader here has it starts flying. Just if it survived combat once,
starts flying.
It starts flying.
Man, I was tossed up into the air by a group of cheerleaders one time. This isn't just a fantasy. It happened to me in high school because I was on the dance team, and the dance team and the cheerleaders, we had like a rivalry.
Okay.
And so the school made us do a routine together.
A combined routine?
Yes. And so I got to be a flyer at the top of the pyramid or whatever, and they shot me up into the air. It was so cool.
That's great.
That is.
Yeah. So
sick.
what I'm saying is I'm this card. No big deal. I can certainly still do it. God,
Yeah.
Why do you ask?
Yeah. You can cheerlead anytime.
Rob simply says
Ron
yes.
sounds
Yes.
convinced.
Why would I disagree with you?
Yeah.
That's true.
Eerie.
Not just a lake anymore.
Yeah. So Eerie is a ability word, and we'll talk about that through Ghostly Dancers here. Ghostly Dancers here is white 3 for a 2/5. They're a creature spirit. They have flying. And when Ghostly Dancers enters, return an enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand, or unlock a locked door of a room you control. It has Eerie. Whenever an enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, create a 3/1 white spirit creature token with flying.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's really
card
good.
is
This card's great.
very nice.
So the unlocking rooms, as Ghostly Dancer shows here, cards can tell you to lock or unlock rooms. They can tell you, they can give you the instruction unlock a room, like Ghostly Dancers here, and they can trigger off room unlocking. Ghostly Dancers triggers off of enchantments entering and rooms unlocking, and that's what Eerie does. Is it just cares a lot about your enchantments, and it cares about you wandering into new spooky rooms in this spooky house. And that's its trigger condition. It's just a lot of You found a new place and you're scared. So make a ghost friend.
Yeah. What a nice, make a ghost pal.
Yeah. So whenever you play an enchantment or you fully unlock a room, so Eerie just is those two things. Those two things happen, you get a benefit.
Yep, and it's fully unlocked the room. So it's second half. It's not whenever you unlock a room at all.
Right.
So if you have a blank room come out, your first unlock won't trigger this.
Okay.
Impending. So we're going to look at Overlord of the Boiler Bilges.
Love this guy.
Great name.
Yes.
Great name.
A great name, great art. I approve. Red 4 for an enchantment creature, Avatar Horror, and it's a 5/5. There's a lot of enchantment creatures in this set, by the way. Ton of them. It has Impending, Red 2. If you cast this spell for its Impending cost, it enters with 4 time counters and isn't a creature until the last is removed. At the beginning of your end step, remove a time counter from it. And it says, whenever Overlord of the Boiler Bilges enters or attacks, it deals 4 damage to any target. Which is wild.
Put it in the deck.
Yes, this is. If you are playing red, play this card. If you are not playing red, play this card and play red. Would be my suggestion in limited. So Impending lets you cast it basically as a permanent on layaway to turn into a creature someday later. And every end step, it's going to remove a time counter. When it runs out of time counters, it suddenly is a creature now, going into your opponent's turn. It's not quite suspend because it happens on your end step. So you're going to play this Overlord on 4, and then you'll go to your end step and remove a counter right away. And that's pretty cool. They all have an ETB and attack trigger, like a Titan. So they Titan trigger, there's 1 mythic in each color, and it's just the 5 of them, and they are very powerful. They are all fantastic. They all draw you cards or destroy permanents or do wild things. But they are not creatures while there are time counters on them.
So does this happen like it's being cast when the last time counter comes off of it? So it
No. It's still on the it's always been on the battlefield. It was just a non-creature enchantment before.
I see. Okay.
And so it's an enchantment named Overlord of the Boiler Bilges. It's not a creature on the
So
battlefield.
someone can't be like, cancel your creature now that it's coming off of Impending. Right.
Correct. It is a triggered ability to remove the last time counter, so that if they have a way to interact with triggered abilities, they could. They probably don't want to because it's just going to count down again on the next turn.
Yeah.
There's a lot of disenchants in this set, so they'll probably just disenchant it out of fear.
Sure.
In the intervening time, because fear is a big theme in this set.
Well, that's why I normally disenchant anything, quite frankly.
Yep.
Fear. Big theme.
Yeah. There are enduring creatures, though. There are pet friends in each color. These are rares. They are so good. Enduring Curiosity here is blue 2 for an enchantment creature, Cat Glimmer. Enduring Curiosity is a 4/3, by the way. It has Flash. And whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And when Enduring Curiosity dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. It's an enchantment, period. And then it reminds you, it's not a creature.
I love it. I love it.
So there's there's a cycle of these enduring creatures. They all are they all have some kind of static ability, and they all, when they die, they come back as their ghost self to leave you the static ability.
They all are cute.
They all are cute. They're all your pets that protect you. They're very cool. They're not creatures when they come back. And if you animate them into a creature, though, they can come back again. So if you have a way to turn an enchantment into a creature, I don't know how you might do it, but there are ways. Then you can get them to come back repeatedly.
I think that you should mark this, by the way, on the battlefield if it comes back, because you might think it's a creature.
My suggestion is to flip them upside down. That they're not a creature. That's a thing that I've seen done with like the.
Sorry, excuse me.
Are you allergic to cats?
No. Is that a little, I had to sneeze. Fall allergies. Man.
Yeah, turn it upside down if it's not a creature. That's helpful.
That's my suggestion. I've seen a lot of people do that with like the Theros, not a creature gods. You can also do that with the Overlords. Because they're not a creatures. That's a big theme of, I'm not quite a creature yet, or I'm not a creature now. Turning them upside down is pretty clear.
Let's move on to individual cards here, Rob.
Individual cards, yeah. So we talked about fears. This is the fear of abduction.
No fear of this from me. Take me, my alien overlords. I'm waiting.
Well, luckily, one of your creatures is going to get abducted by aliens when you cast Fear of Abduction.
Oh. Excellent.
So it's white 4 for a 5/5 enchantment creature Nightmare. As an additional cost to cast this spell, exile a creature you control. You get to abduct one of your own creatures.
Great.
The Fear of Abduction has flying, and when Fear of Abduction enters, exile target creature an opponent controls. When Fear of Abduction leaves the battlefield, put each card exiled with it into its owner's hand. If you do not have an additional creature, you cannot cast this. It doesn't care if it's being put onto the battlefield by some other effect. So there are multiple like reanimate effects in the set. Doesn't care if you're reanimating it, it's fine. It has no problems with that.
This card is named like a sorcery, but is a creature.
Right. There's fears in every color that behave like this, that are fear of X, fear of Y. They are all creatures, and they all do wild things, and they're all enchantment creature nightmares.
This art is incredible.
Yeah, this art's amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the things about the set is this set has mega spooky great art. It's just so fun, and I love it. And the other thing with fear of abduction is the cards get put into their owner's hand. So your card that you spent fear of abduction comes back to you. Whatever you abduct, you get to get back. If it's a non-creature, or if it's something that vanishes when it goes to exile, if it's a token, you don't get it back, obviously. But you can get all sorts of things back. Coordinated Clobbering. Coordinated Clobbering is single green for a sorcery. It says tap 1 or 2 target untapped creatures you control. They each deal damage equal to their power to target creature an opponent controls.
Ooh, so this will be great with survival.
This is going to be, it's going to be really good at survival. It is very weird to figure out what's going on with this card. The order of operations is you pick targets first. You pick up to 2 of your creatures as targets. Then you pick their creature as a target.
Yeah.
Then it goes in the stack. Your opponent can respond. Your opponent could say, make their creature unable to be targeted. Your opponent could tap one of your creatures. Because you targeted your creatures and they were target untapped creature, if they are tapped at the time this goes to resolve, they won't deal damage. Because it's target untapped creature. Yep. And so if they tap your creature in response to this, they can lock it off from dealing damage.
Wow.
Because it's no longer a legal target for the spell, so the spell can't do any of its effects to it. If they like bounce their own creature, the spell still has targets, and your creatures will still become tapped. So if you target your 2 creatures and they're like and their creature and they're like, I'm gonna bounce this, or I'm gonna flicker it, or I'm gonna sacrifice it, well, you're still become tapped as a result of your coordinated clobbering.
Oh, what are you gonna do? They gotcha.
Yep, they gotcha, and it's a little mazy the way that it says targets up front and then another target later in the spell, but all targets are chosen at the time that you cast it. We have another fear here. Fear of sleep paralysis.
We were just talking about that on the show last week, but it wasn't because of this card, Megan.
I know, but of course it's in here.
Wow.
There's a lot of good fears in this set. Fear of sleep paralysis here is blue and 5 for a 6/6 enchantment creature nightmare. It has flying, and it's Eerie. Whenever fear of sleep paralysis or another enchantment you control enters, and whenever you fully unlock a room, tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on it. And then it says stun counters can't be removed from permanents your opponents control.
Whoa.
Holy cow.
And then it reminds you, they won't untap if they have stun counters.
Just to really rub it in, they're like, hey, you wondering what happens then?
Yeah.
They don't untap.
Yeah, they wrote a rule for this. The 2 things is, this is Eerie. Enchantments with Eerie trigger themselves. So this is whenever sleep paralysis or another enchantment you control. So this will trigger on itself. And so it enters, another enchantment enters, you unlock a room. It will it tap up to 1 target creature and put a stun counter on that creature.
Wow.
It is
This is
wild.
terrifying, and it reminds me of sleep paralysis, A+ flavor win.
Yes, you cannot wake up when there's a fear of sleep paralysis.
You cannot move.
You can't move.
Oh, the Hat Man.
He doesn't have a hat though.
Oh,
somebody's
Maria
gonna
knows
alter.
the Hat
Yeah,
Man.
somebody's
I know
gonna
the
alter a
Hat
hat on this guy, right?
It's the Hat Man.
Whatever this next card, Ancient Cellar Spawn, is doing, they are living life in the best way.
Ugh,
Look at him prancing.
He is prancing. You're right.
He
He's
has
terrifying.
so many antlers.
He has many
Did
antlers.
he
And a prance
steal-
and a dance and a steal the ants.
Did he steal all the antlers from like somebody's trophy room?
Maybe.
I hope so. I hope that that's what's happened here.
It's probably the most polite and clean explanation for what's happening. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Ancient Cellar Spawn here is black 1 for an enchantment creature horror. It's a 3/3. It says each spell you cast that's a demon, horror, or nightmare costs 1 less to cast. And whenever you cast a spell, if the amount of mana spent to cast it was less than its mana value, target opponent loses life equal to the difference. So this is very cool. The 2 things to note are demons, horrors, and nightmares. If something is a demon and a horror and a nightmare, it's still only reduced once by this. And the rooms on the stack have mana value equal to the side that you paid for. So if you have, say, a 5 on one side and a 3 on the other, and you pay the 3 on the stack, it's a 3. It won't. Ancient Cellar Spawn won't see it because on the stack it has the mana value of 3, and you paid 3 mana for it.
Sure.
Gotcha.
That's going to confuse people because rooms have this like not on the stack. They've got the combined mana value of both sides.
Yeah.
So it's weird. There's a lot of like random impulse draw. There's a bunch of free casting. Ancient Cellar Spawn will just randomly dome your opponent for 5 or 6. I think a lot.
What about Impending? If I cast something for its impending cost?
You paid so for instance with the Overlord we looked at, the impending cost you paid 4 for the 6 cost card, and so you will get 2 damage from Ancient Cellar Spawn.
Nice.
Because it looks at what you actually pay. If you pay something without paying its mana cost, you get the whole mana value of the card.
Pretty sick, everybody.
It's pretty cool.
Neat.
And it's very, very cool.
All right.
Lionheart Glimmer.
What's that name of that lion from that one Lion Witch in the Wardrobe?
Aslan?
That's Aslan right there. And look at all the kids. You see?
Oh.
Yeah,
Why
remember
did they
that,
do this?
You remember that classic horror novel, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
So in some ways it kind of like
I know it's not wrong. What happens to some of them is messed up.
But have you read The Silver Chair?
Yes.
Yeah.
I've read all of them.
I mean, I've read a lot of C.S.
Yes.
Lewis. I've read the Chronicles of Narnia probably 10 times, right? Like there is the classic isekai doorway novels, and they're also wild.
Yes. All right. Anyways, we can all talk about
Anyway, this is
We
Aslan.
can all talk about the Silver Chair
Yes.
some other time.
Yeah, Lionheart Glimmer. It's white, and 3 for a 2/5. It's an enchantment creature, Cat Glimmer. Glimmer is a new creature type, and it shows up on a handful of cards as creatures and a bunch of Glimmer tokens, which are 1/1 white enchantment Glimmer creature tokens. They have no abilities; they're just white enchantment creatures. But Lionheart Glimmer's abilities are Ward 2, and whenever you attack, creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn.
Yes.
It's very cool. The thing with that attack trigger is it happens whenever you attack. It boosts all your creatures. Lionheart Glimmer doesn't have to be attacking. You play Lionheart Glimmer and attack with the other creatures. Great. Lionheart Glimmer will hand that out. There's multiple ways to take extra combats in this set. It will apply through all the extra combats.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
And so the first combat, you get +1/+1 to all your creatures. The second combat, you get another +1/+1 to all your creatures.
Let's go.
On top of it.
Yeah, it's very
All right.
powerful. And the cat does not have to attack. Zimone, All Questioning. Zimone is blue-green and 1 for a 1/1 legendary creature human wizard that says, at the beginning of your end step, if a land entered the battlefield under your control this turn, and you control a prime number of lands, create Primo, the Indivisible, a legendary 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token, then put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Then Zimone tells you what the first chunk of prime numbers all the way up to 31. You're not likely to have more lands than 31.
Don't challenge me, Rob. I'm gonna have so many lands.
I mean, it's not impossible, but so a prime number, in case you aren't a math geek, is a number that can only be divided by itself and 1. And so 2 is divisible by itself and 1. 3, same. 4 is divisible by 2, so it's not prime.
Rob, what do you think the next prime number after 31 is? Pop quiz.
The next prime number after 31 has to be 37.
Very good.
Nice.
If you want to know, everyone, on scryfall.com, if you look up Zimone, you will see a list of primes up to 997. So.
Yeah, they go up to
That's very
a large
nice
number.
of them.
Yeah. That is
But
nice.
you can do it yourself. You just check what the divisors are. I actually just checked all the divisors from 31 through 37 really quick in my head because it was like, it's not
Wow.
hard.
Well,
Well,
Sick
if you're Rob,
brags.
you can do that.
There's only so many that it could be because you only have to check up to the square root of the number.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Yep.
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 it's not,
I do it
Yeah.
every night before bed.
you count primes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of sheep.
Primes and powers of 2, right? So Reluctant Role Model also probably counts primes.
Yeah.
He is white and 1 for a 2/2 creature human survivor. Survival. At the beginning of your second main phase, if Reluctant Role Model is tapped, put a flying, lifelink, or +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever Reluctant Role Model or another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put those counters on up to 1 target creature. This is very cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to be this guy for Halloween. That's a cool outfit.
It is a cool outfit.
I think it's just like a reverse Ghostbusters, like proton pack on your chest.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yep.
And a Marty McFly puffy vest.
Yeah, and I'm born to be
Yeah.
fly puffy vest. This is definitely like we have the 80s at home as a set. So, yeah. So Reluctant Role Model, the second ability that triggers and puts counters out, if you have 2 reluctant role models, will let you do that twice. You don't pick up the counters off the thing that died. That's the way that it'll behave in most games, where something will die and you'll slide the counters onto something else. No, he just takes whatever counters are there and duplicates them onto something else. So if you have 2 role models and something dies, you'll get 2 sets of all the counters, which is very cool.
Wow. All right.
We have another room. Central elevator or promising stairs?
Stairs are so
I'm taking the stairs.
Taking the stairs? All right.
It's a haunted house. I'm taking the stairs.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
You got to be able to get out.
Not getting in the little box.
Or are the stairs taking you?
Promising stairs as the starting. So you can play these in any order. The way that I think about them is kind of like adventure cards, because that's kind of how they behave in play. So if you cast Promising Stairs, it's an enchantment room. It costs blue and 2. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. You win the game if there are 8 or more different names among unlocked doors of rooms you control.
Sick.
And Central Elevator is blue and 3. When you unlock this door, search your library for a room card that doesn't have the same name as a room you control. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle.
Holy cow.
Nice.
Yeah, this is very cool. And so Promising Stairs, this tells you each door of a room has a different name. The permanent on the battlefield has both names if they're unlocked. So it has both the name Central Elevator and the name Promising Stairs. Both sides of this are unlocked.
So you only need 4 cards.
Yes.
What? If you unlock both rooms.
It's a humongous amount of mana though, because you have to pay like this one is 7 to get to both sides.
That's true.
And so then you're going to need 3 other cards and you have to pay another, 20 mana.
Hope there's some
sounds
cheap
very
rooms.
cool. There's multicolored ones that are like 1 and 2 or whatever.
But you don't want to go to a cheap room.
Yeah, no. You don't want to buy cheap.
That's
You got to get the suite. Duskmourn's Domination. It's blue and 4 for an enchantment aura that says enchant creature, you control enchanted creature, and enchanted creature gets -3/-0 and loses all abilities. This is actually kind of how I want control magics to be in Limited. I want them to cost a bunch and be kind of mediocre because they're so powerful.
Yeah, I agree.
And the thing with Duskmourn's Domination, if you have something that sets the power and toughness as an ability, this will wipe out that ability and not give it power and toughness. And so if you have a star creature, Duskmourn's Domination, if you take it, will kill it. It's not a good time.
Goodbye.
But
get dominated.
Yeah, get dominated. It's probably not a good kill spell in that universe, but it is just a cool card in Limited. Silent Hall Creeper.
This art's a big no thank you from me.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Him. He's so cute. He's not going to win cutest card. Don't freak out.
Yeah, the duality of humankind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He is. Look at him creeping. He be creeping. He's just creeping.
Why is it like I know that this is a horror thing, but like the fact that all of his limbs are randomly different sizes than each other and he has extra limbs is just, that's a thing.
Yeah.
So the Silent Hall Creeper here, it's blue and 1 for a 1/1 enchantment creature horror. And it says Silent Hall Creeper can't be blocked, because why would you want to block this? Why would you?
I don't want to.
Whenever Silent Hall Creeper deals combat damage to a player, choose one that hasn't been chosen. Either put 2+1/+1 counters on Silent Hall Creeper, or draw a card, or Silent Hall Creeper becomes a copy of another target creature you control. So eventually he will just stop. He'll just be a normal person. He'll be like, oh, it turns out that was Maria behind me in the hallway all along.
No, it wasn't.
Spooky.
The thing is that every time that this triggers, you have to choose one that hasn't been chosen. And if you don't have another creature, you can't pick mode 3 because it becomes a copy of another target creature you control.
Yeah.
If you trigger the first 2 and still don't have a third creature, that trigger can't go on the stack because you have to try to choose something you haven't done. And you don't have a target for it. So which means you don't get the chance to choose it and put it on the stack. Eventually, if he hits again later while you have a creature, he'll have the chance to trigger and target it.
And then it can be blocked after that, right?
Yep, yeah, because when it becomes a copy,
anymore.
Yeah, when it becomes a copy, it'll keep those +1/+1 counters that were put on it, but otherwise it's the other card, all of its characteristics, name,
He's
mana
wearing
value.
your skin suit.
Yep. Yeah, he will wear another creature's skin, but he doesn't kill them. he just becomes a copy of them.
Yeah, Megan, what are you so scared of?
Wow,
Jeez.
well, you all make a really good point. Why am I scared of the monster that only looks like another normal person? Thank you for your reasonable take.
Unwilling Vessel.
Unwilling Vessel. Blue and 2 for a 3/2 creature
Look at
human
the wicked
wizard.
mullet on this guy. Just
Yeah.
this guy.
Again,
It's
the
sick.
80s at home.
Yep.
And is he wearing like a knockoff Star Trek The Next Generation
That's like what it looks
uniform?
like.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Like he was going to a Halloween party where he was playing Star Trek.
Oh.
Yeah. And he has a
Is this winter?
No.
no, I think this is just a random person.
just a guy.
But this person has a fanny pack.
Oh yeah.
This is super 80s.
Love it.
So Unwilling Vessel, sorry.
And
Blue
is holding
2.
a what's that disc television network weapon? You know.
Yeah, he's wearing a
Satellite. In the 80s, everyone was into satellite if you were rich,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
now they've got a little satellite dish gun.
Yeah, it's probably a microwave gun.
Anyway.
So Cuban Wizard 3/2 has Vigilance and Eerie. Whenever an enchantment you control enters and whenever you fully unlock a room, put a possession counter on Unwilling Vessel. When Unwilling Vessel dies, create an XX blue spirit creature token with flying, where X is the number of counters on Unwilling Vessel. That is not the number of possession counters. That is the total number of counters. If you put +1/+1 counters or a flying counter or any other counter, Unwilling Vessel will happily count those
nice.
towards the
Love this card.
towards the
Yeah.
towards the spirit token that it makes. Come back wrong.
Oh, it's terrifying.
And you're going to say this is cute, right?
Yeah, this is so cute.
Black and 2 for a sorcery. Destroy target creature. If a creature card is put into a graveyard this way, return it to the battlefield under your control. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step. So, this kills a thing. It brings it back under your control. Your opponent doesn't get to respond in the middle of that. If the creature dies, it comes back under your control. And the question that I've gotten the most about this is actually a commander question, which is, are commanders killable and can they be brought back wrong? Yes, they can be brought back wrong because the commander put it back into the command zone is a state-based action. And state-based actions are only checked after the spell finishes resolving. So this spell kills the thing, brings it back under your control, and that's all during the resolution of the spell. Then we check the state-based action of, is there a commander in the graveyard that was put there since the last time that state-based actions were checked? Nope, there's not one there. Everything's good. It's on the battlefield under your control. You'll sacrifice it at the beginning of your next end step, so it'll probably go to the command zone eventually.
So what's the point of it coming
Everything's good.
back to what's the point of it coming over to you?
It gives you ETB triggers. So,
Okay.
so you get to get
can't
triggers from
attack
theirs.
with it
You can't
or-
attack with it, but there's a black red sacrifice theme in this
Okay,
set,
yeah, that's true.
where you sacrifice things a lot, and you get all the triggers from it entering. And if it's one of the enchantment creatures that come back, the persistent ones, the enduring creatures.
Okay.
If it's an enduring creature, that's a triggered ability from the enduring creature that brings it back. If you hit an enduring creature and bring it back under your control, they don't get to put it back into the battlefield under their control. And then it dies and then returns under your control.
Oh,
Wow.
oh my god.
This is
Okay.
wild on enduring creatures.
okay.
Okay, now we're into it.
And also, like, a lot of the creatures in this set have enters triggers. A lot of them are enchantments that'll trigger your room unlock or your Eerie effects.
Yeah.
Like, this is just really good removal that has the upside of sometimes randomly, like, giving you a bunch of cards or whatever.
More like come back right. Doomsday Excruciator with my favorite mana cost in the set is up next, which is black, 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 black.
Yep.
Did I say
Yep.
it right?
Yeah, you said the right number.
It is 6 black mana, which is above the threshold for most people to be able to just look at it
And know what
amount
it
of
is.
icons and know
Yeah.
what it is. It is a 6/6. It's a creature demon. It has flying, and whenever Doomsday Excruciator enters, if it was cast, each player exiles all but the bottom 6 cards of their library face down. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card.
You got 6 turns.
Wow.
No, you have 3.
You have 3 turns.
Oh.
Because you're going to draw a card every turn. They won't. They have their normal card draw. They have 6. You have 3 when you cast this.
Because you're drawing your card for card draw, and
And the
Doomsday
Excruciator card.
Excruciator says draw another one.
You're right.
Yeah. And so the Doomsday Excruciator is like, I bet I can win this game in 3 turns. And your opponent's like, you have a 6/6 flyer, you might be able to.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say he looks like he can. This art is
Yep.
sick.
This
I
is
love
great.
this
Yes.
guy.
This art is like incredible.
And so the other thing with the Excruciator is it exiles all these cards face down. You don't get to look at face down cards in exile and they aren't revealed at the end of the game. So these cards get picked up, set aside. Nobody will look at them. You don't know what they are. Your opponent doesn't know what they are.
Just take most of your library and set it to the side.
Yep, and it
Set
happens
it
to
on
both
fire.
players, and it leaves the bottom 6, which is, I think, incredibly cool.
Yeah.
So you just pick up your library and count 6 off the bottom.
He got 6 fingers. He got 6 horns. He got 6 eyes.
and you
probably
got
6
6
teeth.
orbs. Look
6
at those orbs.
6 spooky orbs.
Love him. Want to know his story?
He just likes the number 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's just his favorite
fine.
number.
It's fine.
The Roller Crusher ride.
I want to go on it.
Is this secretly like Infinity, the set, right? It's full of clowns and roller coasters,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Oh.
The
Dark
Roller Crusher
Infinity.
ride here is red 2X for a legendary enchantment. Delirium. If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent or player while there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, it deals double that damage instead. And when the Roller Crusher ride enters, it deals X damage to each of up to X target creatures.
Nice.
The one thing to note, if you have Delirium, it absolutely will double the damage that Roller Crusher ride deals. But the way that assignment works is you have to assign 1 to things and then it gets doubled. So if they have say 3 1/1s and you play the Roller Crusher ride for red 2, 3, so 5 total mana, or so red and 5 for 6 total mana, and you have Delirium, you still have to point 1 damage at each of those for your 3 damage. And then it doubles to 2 at the time the damage actually happens.
Gotcha. So it's just overkilling those
Yeah, it's
ones.
just overkills. It doesn't double the amount that you're allowed to assign with Roller Crusher Ride. It doubles the eventual end amount that the damage that is dealt. And you're gonna look at this on Arena and you'll be like, why isn't it letting me like assign 6 damage? It's going to be dealing 6 damage. Yeah, but you divide the damage up before it's duplicated or before it's doubled. So. Trial of Agony.
What is happening in this art?
It's the movie Saw.
Is there a saw blade in Saw that's like a large saw that comes from the floor?
No, but there's a saw in Saw. Like this is like
well, yes, but
this is
There's a saw in Saw.
this is they told somebody they described the scene at the end of Saw and they said make that a magic card that looks dynamic.
I guess
Because the scene in Saw is not very dynamic. It creeps you the heck out, but it's not.
I gotta say, Saw. When I first saw it, I was scared for about a week and a half after I saw that movie.
Saw is
It's actually good.
Saw's
it's
very good.
scary.
but Trial
Can't
of
speak for the rest of them.
I've watched a number of them. They decided to have plot and a universe and continuity, and none of that.
And you get to have
works out.
Wesley in there too. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of
so. Trial of Agony, though, it's single red for a sorcery. Choose 2 target creatures controlled by the same opponent. That player chooses one of those creatures. Trial of Agony deals 5 damage to that creature, and the other one can't block this turn. Very straightforward. They pick. Cut the hand off of one, and the other one is freaked out.
Yeah.
But they have to cut the hand off of one. If they have 2 creatures and they bounce one of them, they must pick the creature that's left to take 5 damage.
Interesting.
They pick 5 damage, and they have to pick that first. And then whatever's left over, it will be scared. So,
I'm left over and I'm scared.
yeah.
There's a saw in Saw.
That was you. You're quoting yourself.
That's all right. You said it.
Did I? I remembered you saying that.
She's just going to blame you no matter what.
Fair enough. All right.
Just like in Saw.
Gasp.
Have you seen Saw? Have you saw Megan?
No.
Oh.
All right.
Kaito, Bane of Nightmares. It's our Planeswalker for the set. Black blue 2 for a legendary Planeswalker Kaito. Kaito enters with 4 loyalty, and Kaito has ninjutsu of black blue and 1. And so black blue 1, return an unblocked attacker you control to hand. Put this card into the battlefield from your hand tapped and attacking. But it's a Planeswalker, you say. How could it be attacking? The next ability is, during your turn, as long as Kaito has 1 or more loyalty counters on him, he's a 3/4 ninja creature and has hexproof. So you'll put him onto the battlefield and he'll be a 3/4 ninja creature. He's not a Planeswalker, actually. This does not say he's a creature in addition to his other types. He's just a 3/4 ninja on your turn as long as he's loyalty counters.
Cool.
He has +1. You get an emblem with ninjas you control get +1/+1. He has 0, surveil 2. Then draw a card for each opponent who lost life this turn. And -2. Tap target creature, put 2 stun counters on it.
What a cool design.
It's a very cool design. It's very weird because you can, if you start your turn with Kaito with 0 loyalty or with 1 loyalty counter, you can, or with 2 loyalty counters, you can -2 Kaito. And then Kaito will say, oh, I don't have any loyalty counters. I'm going to stop being a creature. and then die. It's very strange.
Goodbye.
Yep. See ya. Just like a normal planeswalker. It's how you would think
Yeah.
it works. Loyalty abilities are not tied. So Kaito doesn't remove abilities from himself. So he still has all these loyalty abilities. Loyalty abilities say you can only activate one ability with a loyalty cost each turn. So he still activates them plus and minus just like a normal planeswalker, gaining or losing loyalty. The thing is that if your opponent tries to deal Kaito damage on your turn, because he's not a planeswalker, it doesn't remove loyalty counters. So if you attack with your 3/4 Kaito and they block, he just takes damage like a normal creature. He doesn't remove loyalty from himself.
Wow.
It's
All right.
very cool.
Yeah.
And you're going to get through on your first one because ninjutsu, right?
Yep.
And so you'll get through there and then you'll plus Kaito and ninjas you control get +1/+1, which is a +1/+1 to himself on future turns, but doesn't do anything otherwise. You're not going to run a bunch of ninjas around in this set. But
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm ninjutsuing him out for 3 mana.
Yep.
And so he's a creature at that point.
Yep.
And he hits. And then on my second main phase, I
You get
plus
to-
him. And
yep. You'll get an emblem that says ninjas you control get +1/+1,
Okay,
which
got
includes Kaito. Mostly it includes Kaito. I don't think there are any other ninjas in this set. And so then you'll be like, great, I pass. And then Kaito stops being a ninja because it's not your turn anymore.
and he become planeswalker
He
with
becomes a
5
planeswalker
loyalty.
with 5 loyalty, and who is tapped, which doesn't matter.
And then it comes to your turn. He's a 3/4 again.
Yep.
He attack, whatever.
Well, you plussed him, so you got an emblem. So he's actually a 4/5.
He's a 4/5, right? Exactly.
And-
And he's not a planeswalker again.
Yep.
And so
yeah,
you
during your
can't-
turn,
you
he's not a
can't-
planeswalker. Well, no, you can activate loyalty abilities.
Oh,
If
okay,
non-planeswalker-
that's what you just said.
Yeah, if non-planeswalkers have loyalty abilities, then you can activate them. So you could plus him again to make him into a 5/6.
Got it.
And then you get to attack with your 5/6.
I'm drafting this card. No big deal.
Yep. Honestly, the surveil is actually probably the good ability. Also, the -2 to stun thing is something twice is very powerful.
Yeah.
Keys to the House. It's a 1-cost artifact. 1 tap and sacrifice keys to the house. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. 3 tap and sacrifice keys to the house. Lock or unlock a door of target room you control. Activate only as a sorcery. This is another way to get down to a room with 0 unlocks on it, which would just be an enchantment on the battlefield.
It's
and then
just
you can,
there.
Yep, and then you can start from the beginning, unlocking each of the rooms.
Nice.
It also allows you to cheaply unlock high-cost rooms. But because you can lock rooms, you can do some, like, you unlock, and then you lock the first door that you had unlocked again. It's very cool.
So like this is going to be very sick because if you're playing that card to help you win the game with all the unlocked rooms, you're like, that's a lot of mana. Well, what
Yep.
give the keys to the house,
Yep. Keys to the house will let you get there.
Nice.
So, yeah.
So you can lock to trigger a room again if it has a sweet
Yep,
ability.
if it has a sweet ability. One thing to note that I wanted to call out, which is the room that I mentioned in our rooms.
Yes.
It turns your non-enchantment permanents into enchantments. Non-land permanents you control and permanent spells you control are enchantments in addition to their other types. This is super cool. It will trigger Eerie. There are some Eerie abilities that make tokens that then will trigger themselves again. This can end the game in a draw. If you have a card that is Eerie that creates a token, I actually had one down in the creatures or in the individual cards. There is
the dancers.
I
I thought it was the dancers.
the dancers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dancers are an Eerie. Yeah, it's right away. So the dancers can draw the game. If you
Ghostly
have
dancers, yeah.
if you have ghostly dancers, which is Eerie, whenever an enchantment you control enters and whenever you fully unlock a room, create a spirit token. If you have Secret Arcade unlocked, that token is a non-land permanent you control, which makes it an enchantment in addition with other types. It'll trigger Eerie to make another token to trigger Eerie.
Oh no.
This is not optional.
So you just lock yourself out of that game too?
The game ends in a draw. Neither player wins.
wow.
Shuffle up for the next game. Whoever had the choice of player draw in the previous game chooses again.
All right.
All right, beware everybody.
Watch out.
Yep. So
Numbo.
there's a couple of different Eerie cards that create tokens that they were like, none of these are going to be enchantments. They won't trigger themselves. And they put Secret Arcade in here, which they should. It's a card that makes sense in this set, but also like
Beware the draw.
Beware the
that you might
draw.
accidentally draw the game.
Wow. Okay, very cool.
Well, thank you so much, Rob.
We've got to
welcome.
do cutest and gross here
Oh,
real
we
quick.
do.
I'm
Okay.
just saying thank you.
You're welcome.
For telling us about these cards.
Yeah, these are some cool cards, Rob.
Maria says I can't tell you thank you.
I did not.
That's what
Tell
just
Maria
happened.
that she should quit trying to control you so much.
Maria, Rob says that you should quit trying to control me so much.
I'm not the control player here. Come on. So Megan had a very tough job, obviously.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so hard. But let me tell you, literally almost every card, I was just like looking through the cards being like, this one.
This one.
So Maria, I think this is the time that you go first.
Yeah, because
This is my time to go second because I have every card as a runner-up.
Absolutely.
They're all spook.
So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 runners up and one winner for this set. Can you believe that there was 5 cute cards in this set?
Honestly,
I can't.
no.
Yeah, there's that cycle of cute pet ghosts.
Oh, that's true. Okay, yep, it's all 5 of those. The end.
The end. I mean, they're all very cute, especially some of the alternate arts, but we only look at the main arts here.
Yes.
I will say that I think Enduring Innocence is one of the very cutest, which is the little sheep that's like, wee!
Oh, it's very cute.
As
Yeah.
it's leaping through the air, being adorable.
It is such a happy sheep.
Yeah. And of course, the other one that I got to say is the cat, which is Enduring Curiosity, which has 2 little floofum tails, and I love her till the end of time. She is the cutest. I want to give a special nod to a card that I think is a both cutest card and grossest card, which I don't know if has ever happened in
Yeah, it
our
has.
history. Did you say yes, it has?
I'm pretty sure it has.
I think that there has been one other one that you and I both picked.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yep.
this is a great example in Brood Spinner.
Yep. Brood Spinner, I think, was very nearly a grossest card.
Yes.
It has eyes where there should not be eyes.
But they look like
the-
Google
the
eyes.
other
I know,
googly
but they
eyes.
look like googly eyes, so it's like really hard.
It's really great. I love this card.
It's a really tough time because, like, oh my god, it's
Thumbs
so
up.
it's so gross.
I hadn't looked at that close up when you brought it up.
Yeah. We got Rob with that
Very
one.
funny.
Then I've got to give it up for this other card, which I just dearly love, which is Living Phone. Because, like, it's a great name. And also, look at this phone. He's pretty cute. He's got a little
pretty
creepy
cute.
smiley face on him. What a cutie.
Yeah.
He's alive. Watch out when you answer it. And then there's one that a lot of people posted in our Discord because they thought I would like it. And guess what? For once, you were all right.
Wow.
Reverend Gremlin, congratulations. You are the cutest card in this set. This is a little 1 in red for 2/2 Gremlin with a Menace. Whenever another creature you control with power 2 or less enters, you may discard a card. If you do draw a card, do this only once each turn. He's a cute little goblin who munches on candles.
Yep.
And he's
Yes.
keeping a key between his legs for
Yep.
some reason.
Very cute.
Do you try and grab it, or will he munch you too? You
He
don't
will munch
know.
you.
You don't know.
Now, I will admit this card is pushed for those of you who are
Maria
asking.
did, I was gonna say Maria did look at it earlier and just goes to herself, pushed.
It is pushed, but you know what? I'll give it to you for this set.
It's really cute.
It's really cute. He's really hungry. He really just wants to nom nom munch on some candles. Yum yum yum.
Yes.
Well, he doesn't have nostrils, so that's probably the only way that he can experience their
It's our
Their
scent.
scent.
Yeah, it's a great point,
Yeah.
Rob.
Oh yeah.
Great point.
He's just trying to smell the candles.
I would love to be his little friend. He would probably just eat me, but that's okay. I'm a cat owner. I know it's a one-sided relationship sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, congratulations, Reverend Gremlin. You are the cutest card. On to you, Megan.
All right, look, it was really hard. Like I said, there's so many gross cards.
Yeah.
I'm looking like here's everyone's a runner-up. Do you know what? I'm just like in this set,
Everyone.
everyone's a runner-up. Overlord of the Baelmerk, you're a runner-up.
Oh, yeah.
No, this is everything about this is a bad time.
Wait, turn it towards me.
Look at these what is this? Look at these
yucko.
disgusting leg situations. Look at these rib cages. Look at these
Look
bad
at these rib
hands.
cages.
Look at it's like everything about it bad,
Yeah,
gross.
uh-huh.
No,
Yep.
not good. Not happening.
Keep
Okay.
going.
That he's gross. There's a lot of really gross stuff. Okay, hold on. Let me find the next guy. Oh, piggy bank. It's like kind of funny, but also we all know.
Yeah, that stomach.
Mouth where there's not supposed to be a
Yep.
mouth. Top
Yep.
of my list.
There's a lot of that in this set.
Piggy bank, right up there on the top of the list. No, absolutely not. Put your disgusting little spike mouth away, please. There was also, let's see, Maria already mentioned the spider.
Yep.
The brood spinner. Gross eyes where there's not supposed to be eyes. I want to say that I considered Fear of the Dark, but it's honestly just kind of too beautiful. It's like really spooky and gross, but it's also very beautiful. So
Yeah.
Fear of the Dark I did not pick.
I'm just looking at Malevolent Chandelier right now, and I just want this in my house. This chandelier is awesome.
Maria
This is a dream
lot.
that you could make happen.
Yeah, you can have it.
I have such a thing for chandeliers. I just need a house with a lot of ceilings. because I just need to hang a lot of chandeliers on.
Unfortunately, they come with the normal amount. Okay, I want to say this one's also, oh God, Anthropede, right on up there. We all know. Centipedes, also not my thing. Look at all of its hands. Hard pass.
Ooh.
Absolutely not. Deeply disgusting.
Yeah, that guy's looking hungry.
I could literally go on for forever because there's so many disgusting cards in here. But there is one card that I was just like, no, everything from concept to art is a really, really horrible, awful thing that I never wanted to come across in my life. And that is Spineseeker Centipede.
Ooh,
absolutely not.
He just wants your spine.
He just wants your spine. He's just a centipede who's literally coming for your spine.
Or is this the spine that crawl out of you?
I don't care, Maria. I hate it. It doesn't matter to me. No, everything about this is no.
But what if
Look at the nasty hand on the end of its tail to grab you. Look at its nasty pinchers. Look at the pinchers coming out of its eyeballs. Look at all of its legs. Look at its bony body.
But what if you're in a terrible accident and you need a replacement spine?
Do you know what? I would not wish this Spineseeker Centipede on anyone. You think that this guy's going to be my spine?
No. I think he's going to find you one. He's going to hunt up a spine.
Oh, that's so nice of him.
Yeah.
That's cruel.
He'll just show up and be like, look, see, fresh spine. He'll be like, where did you get it? He'll be like, don't ask.
Don't ask me.
It's just like when
Don't
my
ask
cat
me.
found that bone in my house and like came and gave it to me, and I was like, "Where did you find this bone?" Everybody was like, "Small." It was like from a chicken wing.
I have one job, and it is spine. No, thank you. Anyways,
amazing.
That was it.
Wow, what great cutest and grossest cards.
I could have made there were so many gross cards, but like I said, the fact spine seeking, no.
Yeah.
Centipede, really no. Spine seeking centipede together, get out of town.
Big thank you to Judge Rob for coming on the show this week, as always, providing us with all of the news we can use when we head into Duskmourn.
Thank you as well, again, to everyone who makes this episode possible. To you, our patrons, consider becoming a new patron at patreon.com/GLHF. Thank you to cardkingdom.com/GLHF. Go get your Duskmourn stuff now.
Yes.
And go over to Dragon Shield and get some great Dragon Shield sleeves to protect them.
I have not been so excited for a pre-release in a very long time, Megan.
Oh, I get excited for them all, but I am very excited for this one.
I'm so excited to be scared out of my wits at the pre-release this weekend.
Maria, are you ready to go get spooked?
I sure am.
And remember, in the meantime, to go check out that episode of Commander Arcade as well.
Go check it out. youtube.com/@GLHF Leave a comment and for a chance to win the Duskmourn decks that we play with on that episode as well, which is pretty cool. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening this week. Let us know what you think of the set in our Discord if you're a Patreon patron, because we'd love to hear what you think, too.
See you inside the house.
That was so scary. That was the scariest voice I've ever heard you do. I'm spooked.